Today on Riffs, Beards, and Gear, we check out the EVH 5153 50-watt stealth amp. Some of the most prolific, modern, high-gain tones I can think of have come out of an EVH amplifier, and that's not really a huge shocker because Eddie Van Halen has a mighty fine, refined palette for high-gain guitar tones, and he has gifted all of us with many amplifier children, as it were, and the newest 50-watt in the family is a stealth variation on the 50-watt 6L6 head, and it is pretty cool. Now for you 50-watt 6L6 head owners, Mark I or Mark II, the stealth is basically incorporating all of the changes that Eddie wanted to see after touring with those heads. So this is just a greatest hits and an update on voicings and a few features that we'll talk about in just a second that Eddie wanted to see in the amplifier itself. So right off the bat, you will notice the concentric pots on the gain and volume for each channel. The original version of the 50-watt had a shared volume and gain for the green and blue channels. That is no longer the case. My EO34 50-watt head also has these, which is what I really love. So you have independent controls for gain and volume, depending on which channel you're on. And the blue channel has also been revoiced. There's a little bit more low mid going on, and it's a little bit more gain, and to my ears, not as boomy as the original blue channel. That's just my opinion. But the red channel was also revoiced slightly, and the gain taper on the pot is much better. And I only have the EL34 to go off of, but with that amplifier, and for that matter, the 6L6s that I have tried, it was so gained out just immediately. There was nowhere to go on the gain volume, the gain pot. That is not the case with the stealth. It's much more user-friendly, and you can use pedals with it, and it's real good. A couple of other notable features on the 50-watt stealth is the addition of MIDI and also external bias test points with an external bias adjustment. So no more pulling the chassis and having to set the bias that way as you would on any of the other previous 50-watt models, including my EL34. I absolutely love that. So if you need to change tubes or want to play with different makes of 6L6 tubes, you can do that without having to yank the chassis. Thanks, Eddie. Now let's go ahead and do a little bit of a playthrough. I have level matched the channels as best as I could. You will see me use the neck pickup on the clean channel, and I will also incorporate the use of a 40th anniversary Pigtronics Maxon OD808, so you can kind of get a sense of how the amp takes pedals. Not that it really needs an overdrive pedal, but for funsies, let's go ahead and incorporate an overdrive pedal. You will see me turn it on and off. So yeah, let's get to a little bit of a playthrough. And lastly, this amplifier goes for about $1,300 here in the United States. That may seem like a lot of money for a 50-watt amp. However, you are getting 3 channels, external bias points, all of the gain that you could possibly ever want, a foot switch, and just awesome tonal goodness. If I had to pick a single EVH amplifier to pick out of the entire EVH family, this guy would be it. I love the revoicing. It's just a little, you get a little bit more, and it is just, you know, that 10%, 15% better than the other versions of the 50-watt EVH series. I would take this over the big amps as well. I like how I can get the tone I want out of this without having the giant, physically giant amplifier. Just a personal preference, but again, if I had to choose, this would be the only EVH I would own if I had to own just one. I will link down below if you would like to check out more information on the Stealth yourself. And with that, you've been wonderful. I have been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed the video that you just watched, please consider subscribing. It helps me, help you, and then in turn you get more stuff to watch. And also, I have all sorts of stuff down in the description of this video. Sweetwater giveaway stuff, there's all sorts of links to all sorts of things, so consider checking that out as well if you're gonna hang. But if you don't hang, all good. I still love you.